because I have my friend calling in from, I believe, Phoenix, Arizona, Dressler Parsons. She's going to be joining us momentarily, and she's here to talk about Student Tutor. Now, I don't know if you guys know about Student Tutor. You know, it offers one-on-one and in-home tutoring for grades K through 12. So it's not something that's just, oh, my school is in, elementary school. Oh, my child wouldn't benefit from that because they're in, XYZ grade. It's K through 12. And it helps getting, small groups of classes together to prep for the SAT. So without further ado, we're going to invite Dressler Parsons on. Dressler, how you doing?
Hi, Ted. I'm doing pretty well.
Thanks so much for joining the show. We're so excited to have you on here tonight.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, please. I tell you, Dressler, I had the best interaction with you, I would say a few weeks ago, even before we actually spoke on the phone. What our listeners don't know is the email that you had sent myself and Adam in regards to, hey, do you have 15 minutes to talk about, a specific story? And I didn't know what the pitch was about, and I was a little, reluctant because I was like, what is this? Is this a sales pitch? Is it this? Is it that? But after getting through that and sitting down and actually talking with you and going through what we have featured on the Late Night Parents website, the Bully for You story, and, with it being, sponsored by Student Tutor, I had the best time. And I got to tell you, I've had so many retweets and people personally send me messages on the site. Ted, did this really happen? And they're telling me it's a great story. So I want to thank you and Student Tutor for putting a smile on a few people's faces across the globe.
Oh, gosh, thank you. I'm really glad to hear that. And honestly, I've interviewed a lot of people for Classroom Comedy, but you were definitely my favorite to talk
to. That's good. And I will tell you, not to take the focus off Dressler and on Student Tutor. So basically I did a Classroom Comedy story, and it was something that happened to me about 35 years ago. So I'm sitting there going with Dressler on expressing my bullying story and how I had to deal with it. And, here I am. I can't remember what I had for dinner last night. And I'm sitting here remembering with Dressler what happened 35 years ago. So, like I said, I kind of show my age a little bit, but we won't tell anybody that. But, Dressler, tell us enough about me, really more about you and Student Tutor. Tell us about Student Tutor.
Right. So Student Tutor is a little startup company, and it's based in Arizona in the Phoenix metro area. It was actually started by two people who really love teaching. Their names are Todd Van Duzer and Laura Peterson. And so Laura actually used to be a teacher. She taught psychology and math. And Todd actually started the company as his honors thesis for his undergrad degree. And so he was still in college when he started the company. And so it's just been kind of growing. But basically the whole thing behind Student Tutor is we really want to help students succeed. And we want to help parents out too, because a lot of times we'll get questions where parents will call in and they won't really know what the SAT is, or they won't know what they're supposed to do to help their kid, or merit-based scholarships and all of these really important things. And so we just want to be here. We want to be able to help people out. And we offer a ton of free resources, just completely free, like blog articles that we put out where we put a lot of research into them, and content writers take a lot of time to write them, and just offering information about the SAT and about tutoring and different things like that.
That's excellent. And the fact that you're covering K through 12, I mean,
Mhm.
It kind of speaks for itself. The fact that no matter what the situation is, that this company is prepared to step up and handle this. So it's primarily in the Phoenix, Arizona area. I mean, do you guys do any remote work, or is it really just one-on-one on-site, strictly right now in Arizona?
Well, right now we have one-on-one in person in Arizona, but we have one-on-one online tutoring that we offer, where basically you can have a Skype session with a tutor anywhere in the country. And we really work hard to match people up. And so, I mean, like you were saying, whatever the situation is, if people call in and they need someone for, a second grader who's struggling in math, then we pool or we go through our database of tutors and we find someone who would really work well with your second grader. Or if you have a high schooler who's struggling in calculus, it's all, we can help.
That's excellent. And the fact that you're taking it, you and your company have taken it to the next level of, hey, we can do Skype sessions, we can do, video conference, kind of, it's not just, hey, this is not something that's just available out west. This is something that's available across the globe. So tell us, from your perspective, I know it's a startup, but are you getting a lot of folks inquiring about assistance that are outside of the Arizona area?
We've actually just started to get some interest from people outside the Arizona area because, we've really just started growing, but we've been focusing more on our blog and on marketing. And so we've gotten some interest from, I think there was someone in Australia actually who expressed interest in our SAT online class, and a couple people in North Carolina. And so that's been exciting for us.
So, hey, I have to ask you this question because you just brought it up. So someone is in Australia and they want, assistance and dealing with the time zones and everything else like that. Like, how does the professional staff with Student Tutor even deal with something like that?
Well, logistically, what they might end up doing is just doing something like SAT on demand, which, if they're looking for an SAT class. And so what that is it's basically this package that we sell online where it's just a bunch of instructional videos and quizzes that you can take at your own leisure.
Okay.
Yeah, and
gotcha.
So
yes,
that would be super useful for someone in a completely different time zone.
Totally. I mean, I totally get it, and and I understand, and that's ingenious because I was like, okay, so if someone, if the time zone difference is, 12 hours, if someone's in India or something that needs support or something like that, I was wondering, but if you already have the prepackaged videos and that's also being offered, so I do have to ask you, and if you're able to discuss on the show, and if not, I understand, is how would you say the price points are, the price for the various packages?
I can't really discuss the pricing in detail, but
okay.
I know that it is very reasonably priced. I mean, if you're going to go for Sylvan or something, we're definitely on the lower price end. And so we want to be able to cater to just about anyone.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm good with that. That's a great answer. It's a great answer. So tell us if we're interested in securing assistance from Student Tutor. Like, walk us through it. How would we obtain that service?
So basically, you can just visit studenttutor.com, and we have a bunch of different little sections of the website where you can click to, you can request information, and then someone can email it to you, or someone can give you a call. But basically, if you just go to studenttutor.com, you can also just get more information from the site itself. or you can book a class from the site. We actually have a little button that just says Get Started Today, and so that's where you can sign up and kind of describe your situation and describe kind of what you're looking for, if you're looking for one-on-one tutoring or an SAT class or one-on-one SAT tutoring. And then after that, we get in touch with you and we can just kind of feel out what you're looking for and make sure that we both arrive at something that suits you.
Okay. Well, Dressler, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. And on behalf of Student Tutor, tell us the best way, I guess, through social media to get in contact with Student Tutor.
Student Tutor, you can feel free to like us on Facebook. It's just facebook.com/Student Tutor. We also have a Twitter, which is Student Tutor USA, or you can visit our blog at studenttutor.com/blog.
Gotcha. Dressler, we want to give you one time to say thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining the show. We look forward to work with you again in the future, whether it's on the Late Night Parent blog, either through Student Tutor and the Late Night Parent Twitter site, or having you come back to the show, and tell us what's happening with Student Tutor. So we want to say thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
All right. Be good. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
You too. And that was Dressler Parsons from Student Tutor. So we want to thank Dressler for joining the show. We got Chris Wassell coming up next. He's the host of Fantasy Hockey X. He's going to be talking about what else? The NHL season is here. But before we get to Chris, we want to talk real briefly. One of the blogs we released this week, it's called When It Comes to Sleep, Keep Your Baby Safe. October is SIDS Awareness Month. SIDS stands for Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. It's an unexplained sudden death syndrome that happens to infants under the age of 1 year. Researchers are finding